It is, in fact, the Lok Sabha that will be holding that two-day debate from 12 o'clock in the afternoon to mark 75 years of the Constitution. It's the Defence Minister, Rajnath Singh, who will get the ball rolling for the BJP. While on the opposition side, it is Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra who will be opening the debate for the opposition through her debut speech in the Parliament. It is leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi who is likely to speak, but that is only going to happen tomorrow, and that's also when Prime Minister Modi will have the last word. Prime Minister Modi will respond to the debate and the opposition's counterattacks on Saturday evening. And to get more on this, we have my colleague Maria Shakil joining us right outside the Parliament. Maria, who all can we expect to be speaking? Will Sonia Gandhi be speaking? What all is going to happen today? Take us through what all is in the agenda.
Yes, Sonia Gandhi is a member of the upper house. So discussion in the upper house, that is the Rajya Sabha, will happen next week, Monday, Tuesday. But all eyes will be on this historic debate because over the last few weeks, we have seen how there has been a total washout of any discussion or debate in Parliament. So there's a lot of anticipation and expectations from this historic debate, which is slated to begin at 12 noon. With me, Vasudha and Aishwarya. Let me start with you, Vasudha. So what is going to be government's strategy, Treasury bench's strategy?
Maria, yesterday we did see Prime Minister Narendra Modi have this meeting, a strategy meeting with the JP Nadda, Home Minister Amit Shah, also Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, who's also going to initiate the debate this time. So clearly, and before that in the Parliament, Amit Shah had a meeting with the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju and also other leaders, including JP Nadda. So this time the BJP is very clear that they want to own this narrative around constitution, reservation policy, something that hurt them, gave them a setback in the elections of 2024 Lok Sabha. So that's one thing that they are very mindful of. They're going to bring about the emergency and a couple of other things that they feel the Congress has failed to sort of make a mark on. But on the other hand, we saw similar strategy meetings being organized by the Congress party as well, with Mallikarjun Kharge, KC Venugopal, Jairam Ramesh. So they want to bring in Manipur and the industrialist house and also farmers' protest and everything that they have been denied to talk about in the Parliament. So clearly it's going to be a fierce battle, a symbolic day indeed, because of the anniversary of the commemoration of what happened. In some ways a tribute to all the martyrs of the terrorist attack also. So clearly this is one way of owning the constitution debate. The political undertones cannot really be dismissed.
So the BJP will go all out, and they have made a list of 13 speakers, including the Prime Minister, who replies to it tomorrow. But what will be interesting to watch out for, Aishwarya, will also be which could be a maiden speech of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Is she initiating on the behalf of the Congress, or is she the last speaker?
Well, the sources have clearly indicated to us that it would be leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi who will be initiating the debate from the opposition side, and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra will be speaking on day 2, that is tomorrow, when Prime Minister will be concluding, and just before that Priyanka Gandhi would be concluding the debate on the side of opposition. But it is the NDA leaders who had submitted their list to the Lok Sabha Secretariat as well as to who will speak. H.D. Kumaraswamy, it is Shambhavi Chaudhary from the LJP and likes of that will be speaking. And also it would be, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh would be initiating the debate from the side of the Bharatiya Janata Party. 3 hours, 20 minutes is something that the Bharatiya Janata Party had been allocated. 2 hours, 10 minutes is Congress Party, which had been allocated, and rest the opposition and the NDA bloc parties have also been allocated. But the Bharatiya Janata Party's strategy is very simple. They will be raising issues like emergency. They will be raising issues like the fake narratives being spread by the Congress Party in the recent last years, and also about the constitutional amendments that the Congress era has made. So these will be important issues that the Bharatiya Janata Party will try to raise. But remember, it is these opposition MPs only who had written to the Lok Sabha Speaker and Rajya Sabha Chairperson to initiate a debate in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And very, very interesting to see whether those ruckus and the adjournments that we have seen so far in the winter session will impact these constitutional debates as well.
So whether the discussion will happen at all or not, for the moment it appears it will. But Vasudha, as journalists who have covered the Parliament and its functioning, it's rather disappointing that we don't see any healthy discussion or debate. Finally, a discussion of this nature happening when India is celebrating 75 years of the Constitution, the adoption of the Constitution, and more so, it's the parliamentarians who wanted this discussion So politics around constitution also becomes significant.
Absolutely, Maria. I was looking at the discussions that happened even with respect to Railway Amendment Bill or for that matter, Disaster Management Bill. And, the opposition members kept saying that there is a threat to federalism. This is just too much power in the hands of the centre. So there was even not many nuances in that kind of criticism. Even those who spoke in support also kept, glorifying the centre without really discussing the merits or the demerits of the bill. So I felt that this uncertainty that prevails around the working of the parliament has also impacted the way MPs are working, are studying the bill. Like I told you yesterday, Saduddin Owaisi spoke about how disaster does not really include heat wave or pollution. And Kanimuri from DMK spoke about how Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu need to get extra help because they are more prone to cyclones. So some very specific points were made, which actually showed that it actually feels nice when the parliament is functioning. And of course, it is going to be a symbolic day in some ways because there will be, some political undertones, some very fierce contest with regard to who really protected the constitution more. But of course, the BJP is going to go at it because considering they've been very aggressive with the George Soros matter and also the electoral campaigns, the victories have also made them very confident with respect to Maharashtra and Haryana as well.
And because this is changed Lok Sabha. The 18th Lok Sabha changed from its first sitting 6 months ago to now. And this is what we are seeing. The electoral victories, particularly in Maharashtra and Haryana, has given that confidence, the fillip and perhaps a booster dose to the BJP, where they are going all out to corner the opposition both outside and inside parliament. Aishwarya, during the first two sessions, we saw a great degree of jugalbandi between, Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav. Of course, they were at that time sitting next to each other also. Now Akhilesh's seat has moved 2 benches behind. And he is one of the, finest speakers that we have seen because of his ground connect and that raw rural connect that he speaks about. He brings that aspect to the parliamentary discussions. When is Akhilesh likely to speak?
Well, Akhilesh Yadav from the Samajwadi Party will be also initiating the debate on day one itself, that is today. And very interesting speakers coming in from the opposition side. Trinamool Congress of Kalyan Banerjee and Mahua Moitra. It would be from DMK, Kanimohi and TR Balu would be speaking. Saduddin Owaisi from the AIMIM will be speaking on their part as well. So interesting speakers list has come out. Whether this constitution debate will just pan in around the constitution or whether it will go beyond is something that remains to be seen, because the Bharatiya Janata Party has also stated that if it goes beyond, then they have speakers like Lishikant Dubey and others to counter it.
Yes. So it's basically, constitution to bahana hai, baaki sab issues raise karna hai.
Absolutely. And if you look at the list of the BJP speakers, which we were talking about, from the women, it's Purandeshwari, Aparajita Sarangi. And Aparajita Sarangi herself is a very fierce speaker. And when it comes to the men, it's Rajnath Singh who, of course, initiates the debate. And then you have Tejasvi Surya, Jagdambika Pal. Tejasvi Surya, of course, is also known to make those very critical points. Is also known to be very controversial in those areas. And of course, you have other speakers from the NDA as well. Tamluk MP Abhijit Banerjee, he is also going to speak. Remember that he has also ignited controversies in the past. So clearly the BJP has picked up a list, like you rightly pointed out, making sure that it shows a pan-India image. And other than that, also wants to give a counter to everything that can come up in this parliament from the opposition side.
So the BJP ready, so is the opposition?
I think so, also because this will be a marker of Priyanka Gandhi's debut, because honestly, Maria, there's a lot of criticism about the Gandhis choosing a very safe seat for her. Gandhi's going to Wayanad and fighting, which is really not a tough battle. And electorally, Priyanka has not had that kind of successes that she would have hoped for. And it's been like the session is going to come to an end. She's not really made her speech. The only one thing that she made a mark was when she went to Amit Shah, the Home Minister, and spoke on behalf of people of Wayanad and said that, we need more funds. But other than that, there's a lot of expectation from Priyanka Gandhi, and she's been protected a lot, and this of course will be watched out for from both ends, for criticism and also for endorsement.
Yes. So the debut speech of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra is expected as well. Which is one speaker that you'll be waiting and watching out for?
Well, it would be, of course, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra for making her debut speech as far as the Congress party is concerned, and very strategically they have chose to place her on day 2 when the entire opposition will conclude. And of course, it would be very interesting to see how leaders like Asaduddin Owaisi will react. There would be Jitan Vermaji, Anupriya Patel. So NDA has also placed every leader from their part as well. Specific times have been given. Today there will be question hour for one, starting 1 hour from 11 a.m. to 12 noon, and from 12 noon this debate will initiate. But before that, of course, we will see that that ceremony that is also going to happen in the parliament at 9:30, where Prime Minister and Vice President, all the top leaders, will be paying respects to those martyrs of the parliament attack in 2013 as well. So but clearly that would be also seen, and something that will come from that parliament attack anniversary will also be reflected. Of course, there would be condolences in the beginning as well.
Okay, Vasudha, I will be waiting and watching out for Prime Minister's speech tomorrow, because that becomes important. Over the last few months in particular, the BJP has also tried to, take back that narrative of constitution, as you were saying. What is your speaker to watch out for?
Well, like you said, the Prime Minister, of course, because I would expect him to be rather, more confident, because last time when he spoke, the opposition guys kept, in some way sloganeering, and that was a very difficult watch for all of us. So clearly this time it's going to be really different. But one person that I want to watch out look for is Rajnath Singh, because he's just back from Kremlin. He's back from the country which is in some ways not really known for democracy. India-China relations have also undergone a massive change. There's been a lot of positive development on that front. So I would want to see how Rajnath Singh, also seen as very amenable, not a polarizing figure, actually, takes it upon himself to initiate a debate compared to a lot of other BJP speakers like Nishikant Dubey, who have been very fierce in the start. This is somebody who's rather different, and he has to play the balancing act of ensuring that the house runs, at the same time makes the points.
Yes, Kalyan Banerjee.
Because he was in the headline for JPC and for the recent ruckus that we have seen in the Lok Sabha, commenting on Jyotiraditya Scindia. So he is the one speaker that Trinamool Congress have.
Very good wordplay.
Well,
A lawyer with good wordplay as well.
Well, several opposition leaders have also stated that something has changed as far as Kalyan Banerjee's strategy is concerned. बुरे हैं तो क्या हुआ? कम से कम सुर्खियों में तो आ रहे हैं. These were the lines of several of the TMC MPs, in fact, for Kalyan Banerjee.
And T.R. Balu, one of the veteran parliamentarians. But something, Vasudha and Aishwarya, will be interesting would be that will it really be about nuanced arguments or pure rhetoric? When I spoke to, legal eagles, they were saying that they do not have much expectations. But, India's parliamentary democracy is on solid footing. And that is the reason why nuances matter.
Absolutely, Maria. In the cabinet meeting also yesterday, which was held in the Parliament complex, the Prime Minister apparently made it a point to say that people have to know that people-centric moves are being taken. In fact, the Law Minister had a presentation on the history of One Nation, One Polls. Amit Shah had this massive presentation on how logistics will work out. So clearly, there's a lot of emphasis on history. This is a glorious year for us, for our democracy. It's a milestone in terms of marking 75th year of adoption of Indian Constitution. So I think all those debates of Constituent Assembly are going to come up in some ways. Asaduddin Owaisi himself is a good speaker, knows history. So I think both sides have picked up the right speakers. But all said and done, it all depends on how the question hour goes. We've seen things crumbling very fast. Even before we could make sense of things, the House gets adjourned. So really, the House has to function for all of that to happen.
Okay, so if the session begins at 12, in terms of discussion beginning at 12, in all 13 hours allocated, Aishwarya, and so around 7 to 8 hours today and another few hours.
Well, that's what Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju clarified yesterday, that it would be 6 hours each today and tomorrow, and if the speakers will request the Lok Sabha Speaker, then that can be extended as well. So that's on the prerogative of the Lok Sabha Speaker as to whether this session gets extended by 7 or 8. It all depends on the Speaker's request, because of course 40 minutes is something that had been given to Rajnath Singh that will set the agenda and tone for the entire constitution debate for 2 days.
All right. Vasudha and Ashwarya, thank you so much. Let's bring in the guests now. Salim Dharan of the DMK is joining us. We also have Niranjan representing the BJP. Salim Dharan, all eyes is on Parliament and parliamentarians, whether they'll move beyond rhetoric and ensure that some solid, substantive discussion happens on the functioning of the Constitution.
No, see, as an opposition, as a member of India Bloc, DMK always been wanting to have dialogue in the parliament. We want to express issues of national importance on issues that concern the people of India. But the fact of the matter is, it is the BJP which has not allowed any of our issues to be discussed. And I think this is a problem. I hope even today, they will, I hope today they'll allow us to speak. And when our parliamentarians are speaking, I hope they're not put on mute or they're not disturbed in between. I think that's what I hope. And more importantly, we also definitely want to speak about one nation, one election, which has been, which is likely to be introduced today. My leader has written yesterday and posted it also in his X platform that it's a draconian, anti-democracy, anti-federal, anti-social justice act. So we'll be very, very keen to speak on one nation, one election. And again, other India Bloc members such as Trinamool Congress have also expressed concerns about one nation, one election. And I think it's in fact, the bill in itself aims to change 4 constitutional laws, and also Article 356 will have to be implemented if you have to curtail the terms of the state assemblies. So the BJP does not have the numbers. So we will have to also definitely discuss about this bill, and it depends on the BJP if they want to involve
With
the opposition, or if they
one nation, one election, but that bill has not been tabled as yet. So let's wait and see what are the various aspects of that bill before it is taken up, and what are the objections the opposition will have. Let's bring in the BJP spokesperson as well. The point being made by Salim Dharan was that whenever there is some ruckus or disturbance on the part of by the opposition or any of the parties, we see the mic is cut or mic is shut down. They have that fear. Will the Treasury benches do enough to address that concern?
What I can assure my counterpart is that, democracy will prevail much
and
more.
Has been answered by the Lok Sabha Speaker. Yes.
What I would like to assure my counterpart, that the democracy will prevail and much more respect will be given than compared to those in Tamil Nadu. Like we always see that how Mr. Karunanidhi Stallion has been given a lot of respect and importance to the opposition. The same kind of respect will be given them in the Lok Sabha.
Salim, will you respond to that?
I'm saying, I'm assuring my counterpart that the same kind of respect will be given as that is been given by Mr. Stallion in Tamil Nadu.
See, I think apples to oranges, as comparing the assembly, the parliament. Having also said that, in Tamil Nadu, the assembly functions and the opposition leaders do speak on issues. The issues are being discussed day in and day out.
Same way it will be discussed in Lok Sabha.
Even last time after the Kallakurichi incident,
can expect the same thing
in
the Lok Sabha, my dear
let me
friend.
speak, or either I speak or you speak. Let's not overlap.
Whatever you are alleging over here are the same things what we have been alleging over in your Tamil Nadu itself.
No, sir, let me complete.
No, it's not the same thing, Mr. Niranjan. It's not the same thing. Niranjan Shetty, this is not the same thing. We are talking about the Parliament of India. So let's try and put the focus on the Lok Sabha, which will be taking up. Sir, please respond to my question. Let me finish my point first.
I have already responded.
My question is that, there is the sense.
Of course, everyone knows that whatever will be discussed in the Lok Sabha will be viewed by the millions of people, and the democracy will prevail. And whatever the grievance or whatever the apprehensions are of my counterpart, it is very much, a small child's baby cry, basically. So let the session begin. He will know that all his questions will be answered. We will not do like all that India blocs they are associated with. We will not try to curb any kind of constitution rights of the opposition. All rights of the oppositions will be upheld and all the questions will be answered. And that is the purpose for which the debate has been accepted by the government. It is on their request that this debate has come forward.
All right. Will you respond to that, please?
See, I think there's so many things
Salim?
spoken. The first and foremost, that assembly is not same as the parliament. And secondly, I would like to give you an anecdote which happened in June when after the Kallakurchi incident that happened, unfortunate incident which happened in Tamil Nadu, the assembly immediately convened. But the plan to convene the assembly happened much earlier. So we had a range of issues to be discussed. But when the opposition wanted to discuss on Kallakurchi, they were given time. All the opposition leaders, or most of them, did speak on the issue. They did come down heavily on the state government. But my leader explained to them one by one what are the steps the government has taken and how the incident happened and how the unfortunate won't be repeated. This is exactly what we are expecting from the union government, that is the BJP also. We wanted to discuss Manipur earlier. A corporate company has been indicted by the court in the US for about 23,000 crores worth of scam. We wanted that to be discussed. We wanted fiscal federalism funding to states, particularly in case of disaster. We wanted that to be discussed. But whenever the opposition parties, the India Bloc members, will go and give a notice to speak an issue, this was all
right.
not allowed. Government motion was not allowed. So at least
All right,
today, more important.
All right. No, sir, the question is that today is an important discussion on constitution. We should begin perhaps the day on the note that the House will function and there'll be some substantive discussion on constitution, which is very much needed at the moment. So Niranjan Shetty and Salim Dharnidharan, I appreciate your time.